Hey everyone, and welcome to a new series that I'm starting today. It's called Endgame Checkmates. So in this series, I'll just be talking through all the endgame checkmates that I am familiar with, and I hope these videos help you win some of your own games. So let's go. Here, white has just a king, and black has a queen more. So how does black um, checkmate white right here? So it's white to move, so white will move the king. And now we have to remember not to just give random checks as black, because if I just give random checks, I can keep giving checks. Let's give a couple of checks. And you'll make no progress because as many checks as you give, white will just keep moving the king, and there's no way to checkmate. So black has to bring the king into the game. So in this position, after white moves, there's a common concept, and it's putting the white king in this kind of box. So if I play queen e4, I'm not letting the white king escape. The white king has no longer has access to the rest of the board. It's confined to these squares here, right? So if I once I play queen e4, white has a couple of moves. Let's just say white plays king d6. Now I bring the king. Okay, so now white can either return to the square and allow me to come closer with the king. See, now the king takes away these two squares as well. So now the white king is forced to go further this way. And when the white king is forced to go further, we bring the queen in, and now the king has even less squares. It can't come back here. So let's say white goes here. Now I play queen here check. And you know why this check works? Because white can't run away because the king covers. So if you play a check, make sure that you're covering the white king's escape squares here. So as long as the black king is shouldering that white king away from the escape, then white is forced to go further into the corner. And now we'll just bring our king further. And okay, let's say white plays king a7. All right, so we'll bring our queen closer. It's important to keep this kind of L-shaped distance. It's like a knight move, but you keep that distance from the white king, and you box the king into the corner. All right, so now the white king's only legal move is to play king a8, and here is a very important position because you should never play queen b6. If you play queen b6, look at the eval bar. It's a draw. The white king has no legal moves, and the white king is also not in check, so this would be stalemate. So make sure that when you walk the king into the corner, that you don't accidentally stalemate your opponent when you're in a winning position. Here, you should just be calm. Make sure the king has one more move, so you can just bring your king, and the king just comes back, because that's the only legal move. And now there are several ways to checkmate, but the most straightforward is to play queen b7, and the queen is supported by the king, and the white king has no squares to go to. So that's one example that you can use for queen and king versus king checkmate. Let's set up a different position. So let's go back to the beginning. All right, so if I go back to an analysis board and I set up a position where none of these pawns exist, you'll have to watch me do it because I'm not gonna edit that out. All right, so here we have the king in the middle of the board. There's a different type of stalemate you need to avoid, all right? And it's here. When the queen is over here and the black king is over here. You're so close to checkmate. But don't play this move. If you play king to e3 and you're staring right at the other king and your queen's next to it, you may notice this black queen is cutting off the two sideways escape routes for the white king. And since the white king is not in check, this would be stalemate and it would be a draw, which is very unfortunate. So don't play that move. Remember, you can just be a little, and same thing, you can't play king f3 either, because your king is still blocking off the only escape square, and your queen covers everything else. So instead of that, you can play queen c2, and now the white king only has one legal move. Sorry, that was a bad arrow. Yeah, the white king only has one legal move, and after king f3, wherever the white king goes, if the white king goes to g1, then it's checkmate, and if the white king went instead to e1, it's also checkmate. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you understood that how to checkmate with a king and queen versus a king. I hope that you don't run into the stalemate issue. I'm sure it'll happen once or twice, but try to avoid it. And I wish you the most success you can have on your games. Until next time.